Hi guys, Nestea here, welcome back. So today we will take a look at the rebirths. We will have the Draka rebirth and the other one is the Seedlah for next month. So I could already see on Facebook and wherever that basically everyone is asking like, what Draka do I have to use? Where are they good? So I would say let's first take a look at the drakkars. So basically you are able to get them from here. Here is the rebirth. You have to throw in 3 random net 5s, whichever you want. And then you will get a random drakkar, which is also a very important factor. Like if you're saying I want to go for fire, it don't mean that you will actually get it, so be careful. They are really expensive and there is a random factor behind it. Okay, let's take a look at what they can do and where they excel. Let's start with the fire one. This one is by far the best, really by far. This monster basically has no weakness in my opinion. You can see the stats. HP is acceptable, not that high. Attack is crazy high, and he even has an acceptable defense. So the effective HP is decent, and the attack is extremely high. The first skill is very good. Gives 15% of SP to everyone. This is really a good skill. So he's basically giving your whole team more speed to get your active stun. Then he has the puncture. He's the only monster that has this skill. Applies a self buff that ignores 100% of the enemy's base defense. Speaks for itself in my opinion. In the story and whatever content you are playing, these monsters all have only the base defense. Means Fire Draka is the perfect farmer. Like, he will deal damage as if the defender has 0 defense. Normally that's enough to 1 or 2 shot most stuff. So fire is extremely strong. Farming, obviously you need a siphon set. If you are going really for a farmer, you are going as offensive as possible. And if it has to be triple attack, or if it is attack crit damage and you are even missing some crit rate, the most offensive siphon gems that you have, give it to Draka. The other point where he really excels is in the arena. I think nowadays it's a bit harder to make use of him because he's so strong that most players were building a water defense with more focus on defensive gems. Keep in mind he only ignores the base defense. If, for example, you are putting defense gems on your monsters, this defense is not ignored. So before it often was like monsters with HP defense, or yeah, before we had a lot of these aggression monsters and that stuff that were on triple HP and that. This is not the case anymore. People were really focusing to counter Fire Draka. So most monsters that before had HP defense are now on defense HP, so that the Draka is not dealing that much damage to them. And you will face a lot of water monsters in the arena. Everything just to counter the Draka. That's how strong he was or is. Like, I'm still using double Draka and I still have 0 problems to go Heroes 1. Here and there I'm starting to lose a fight if it's too much water monsters and if I'm a bit unlucky, but overall I still have zero problems to go to Heroes 1. So he really excels as a farmer and in PvP. So this is 2 of 3 important factors in the game where he extremely excels. I think that should say enough. The other one would be, in my opinion, the Titans, and yeah, he can't be that good in Titans, obviously, otherwise he would be even more OP than he already is. So, in my opinion, there is no other choice. If you are going for the first drakkar, there is no other choice than the Fire one. If you have more of them, then it's a different thing, but I would prioritize the Fire one by far over all others. Even going for 2 or 3 before I'm going to others. The Water one. Stat-wise, he's really similar. Bit more HP, bit more defense, a bit less attack. So overall they are the same. Oh, I totally forgot, they even have the HP lead, which is also really great. The Water one. Double weaken. In my opinion, this is the second best, because he's usable in Titans. There are not that many monsters that have a weakened skill yet, so I personally would go for a Water one, because I already have 2 fires, but I already have a Water one as well. Like, you can use the Water drakkar in Fire Titan, obviously. Keep in mind, if you are using a secret, the active will steal the exposed weakness if the secret is on the left side. But other than that, really good against Fire Titan. I personally use one against the Water Titan. Obviously, you really have to build him completely tanky, HP defense, but he's doing his job. Double weaken, really strong against Titans, so you even have the HP lead in case for whatever reason you are getting a variant. I think if I would have a variant Gleam, I would not give it the drakkar. There are better choices than this. But yeah, Water is a Titan monster, obviously can be used for Colossus and whatever. But first of all, it's a Titan monster, and he's really good there. The Wood one, Wood is really a bit sad. Like, the stats are just so incredible good. 50k HP, some attack, and even really high defensive stats. So it's extremely hard to kill him. Has double aggression, so you're going triple HP. If for whatever reason you want, you can also go double HP defense. In my opinion, it's not that good, but you can do that. But yeah, I would go triple HP. And he's only usable in your offensive team. Like, it's a PvP monster, it's not good for Titans, you can't farm with it. You can clear all the other content without them, you really don't need them. So it's basically a PvP monster. You will have one big problem, and that's his brother, the Fire drakkar. No matter how much stats you put in to a Wood drakkar, and no matter how incredible good his stats are, Fire drakkar will just roast him without a problem. So if you really want to go for the Wood drakkar, it's a monster for the offensive. I think he's really good in the offensive because a lot of teams are built against Fire drakkar, so they are water. And the Wood drakkar obviously has an advantage against them. So if you really want to go for the Wood drakkar, it's a PvP offensive monster. Also not that easy to build. You basically want to have crit rate, crit damage, resistance, not that easy to build. But I think in the offensive, he's really strong, but only there. If you put him in the defense, the attacker will laugh and just bring his fire drakkars and roast it. Light. Stat-wise, I would say a bit similar to the fire one. More HP, less defense, and attack around the same. Weaken and elemental edge. I'm not a fan of him. Like, why weaken and then elemental edge? The skills are not really fitting that much. The elemental edge obviously is either a farming skill or a PvP skill, while weaken is not that good in PvP. You can use it, yes, but there are a lot of skills and combinations of two skills that are far better. So I'm personally not a fan of it. And yeah, for Titans, he's also not that good. Yes, you have a weaken, but only one. And then you have the elemental edge, which is basically useless against Titans. Especially for a monster that has no elemental advantage against any of the Titans. So the mixed skill set of him is not fitting. Therefore, in my opinion, he's one of the bad ones. Can't recommend the light one. Dark, in my opinion, even worse. Why weaken and seal? These skills are really not fitting each other. Seal is completely PvP. Like, you can clear everything else, you will need no seal for it. And then you have weaken, which is basically only a Titan skill. Like, it's always hard to land debuffs against defenders in the arena. So if you really want to debuff your opponent, you're not going for a single target weaken skill. There are really a lot of better ones. So the skill set is not fitting. Why it has no, I don't know, a self heal, SP gain, or whatever, something that is really more useful, and only 80% 2-turn, 80% 2-turn for a monster that is that expensive. Can't recommend the dark one as well. So I would say fire by far the best. Water is useful and wood is useful. If I would have to rank them, I would say fire first, water second, and wood third. And the other two we can completely forget. They are completely trophy monsters. If you see some of them, just someone that got an LD net 5 and thought, yeah, I have to build the trophy. So really only go for the RGB ones. If you want, or you think you are really lucky because you got an LD one, put it in the box. That's, in my opinion, the best thing that you can do. And hope that at some point it will get a buff. I think I still have a dark one. Not sure. There's a water one. I think I have a dark or light. There is a dark one from the first Rebirth. Yeah. It's in the box and I'm waiting if there is a buff or not. Otherwise he will stay in the box forever. If you don't have the choice to put it in the box because you really need it, you are only having net 5s for 4 drakkars to make 1 Evo 3. Really go for the fire one, and afterwards the water and the wood one. It really depends on what you want to prioritize, but I really would go for fire, water, wood, and forget about the other two. Let's talk about Seedlah. Seedlah is basically a really fast one. Let's take a look at the fire drakkar, Seedlah. Where is it? Seedlah. Am I blind? There. You can see stats completely defensive, at least that's not bad. Has the HP and the defense really high, so it is really defensive. Has a steal, which in the beginning of the game is a decent skill. So if you just started the game and you get a Fire Seedler, he's really not bad. The Zap is also not that bad against bosses and that stuff, where also Seal is not bad. It's a beginner monster, but afterwards not good anymore, or at least not good enough anymore. Let's take a look at the water one. There. Balanced, has decent HP, decent defense and decent attack. Sadly, the defense is a bit low, could be a bit higher for a balanced monster. Double defense down, can go up to 70-70 I think. Has the resistance skill, everything is leading to fight against the Fire Titan. It's a really decent Titan monster. So if you are missing a double defense downer, Water Seedler is your choice. You can go HP defense or defense HP. Both is working. Depends on how strong your healers are. If the healer is able to heal an HP defense, this is the better choice. Where is the wood one? Really having problems finding these. There. So you can see stat-wise not that strong. Has really a lot of HP and at least the defense is not bad, which is fitting the skill set. Double zap, so it's basically a boss killer, nothing else. If you are stuck somewhere, it's good. It's good against the Water Colossus. It's really just a boss killer, but it's also not a bad monster, especially if you are not able to fight the Water Colossus yet. It's really a good one, you should go for one. Let's take a look at the light one. Hopefully I'm able to find it this time. There. HP not that high, but also not bad. Defense is really high, for a defender perfect, especially because the HP is also not bad. Has an aggression skill and an attack down. That's sadly not that good. Like, you want to completely focus on defense because it has the defensive aggression, and then you only have an attack down. Really not fitting. It's like a poor man's death aggression monster. It's really not that bad, but there are better choices. But if you just started, of course, go for one. But there is one exception. If you have no Dark, because Dark is really strong. Let me just find it. There. So this one is an attacker. HP is really not bad. Attack is, for an attacker, might be not that high, but if you take a look at the whole monster, HP is decent, defense, yeah, it's mediocre. But overall, the effective HP, like how much damage he really can take, is okay, while the attack is also not bad. It's a dark monster with an elemental edge, so he basically hits with the more advantageous element against every element. And he has another advantage, that he's a dark monster. 100% crit damage combined with an elemental edge means the passive will really hit hard no matter what he's hitting. Keep in mind that it's based on critical hits, so it needs crit rate. Same with the defense down, needs a critical hit, but for the defense down it can also be an advantage. If you have 100% crit rate, it's a 100% defense down. So I would go either attack crit rate or attack HP crit rate. Has books, hits really hard. Out of all these 5, Dark is by far the best overall. If I would have to rank them, I would say Dark is the best. Water is the second best. Wood is also usable because some people are not able to beat the Water Colossus. Light, yeah, it's usable, but more for newer player. The same with the Fire one. It's also not completely useless, but it's also more for newer player. So, yeah, I hope at least I could help you with the choice of the Draka, because I could see that a lot of people are insecure about which Draka they want to go for. So I hope you like it and see you soon, guys. Ciao!